This evening, first up, visa bond relief. A US 15,000 visa bond is being rolled out for high-risk countries, but Ambassador Nicole Theriot says Guyana is off the hook. Why America's trust in Guyanese travelers is holding strong. Plus, drug, gold, and a Venezuelan connection. A late-night raid at Puruni Landing uncovers pounds of cannabis, meth, and over $1 million in cash. 2 suspects are in custody, but could this bust crack open a larger drug network? Also, one Guyana, one big milestone. Guyana's newest offshore oil project begins pumping 250,000 barrels a day, catapulting national production past 900,000 barrels. What it means for the economy, the environment, and near future. Meanwhile, election, unity, or division. 4 political parties signed the code of conduct, but 2 major contenders walk away. Why APNU and FGM are rejecting the ERC's pledge for peace ahead of the September vote. And across the pond, tensions rise. Protests erupt in UK over hotels housing asylum seekers. What's fueling the backlash and how it could reshape Britain's immigration debate. All this and more coming up on Headline News Update. Stay with us. Welcome to this broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Update for August 8, 2025. I am Bibi Backus. Thank you for joining us. First up, the U.S. State Department has introduced a U.S. $15,000 visa bond for travelers from countries with historically high rates of overstaying their visas, aiming to encourage compliance with entry terms and reduce illegal stays. Guyanese travelers applying for U.S. business or tourist visas will not be subject to the newly introduced U.S. $15,000 bond. U.S. Ambassador to Guyana, Nicole Theriot, confirmed on Wednesday. The bond, announced by the U.S. State Department, targets travelers from countries with higher visa overstay rates. Theriot explained that Guyana's overstay rate of 5.59% is not problematic, adding she would be very surprised if the exemption changes. The announcement comes as Guyana experiences rapid economic growth, driven by oil production and supported by other sectors, making the country an increasingly attractive hub for business, tourism, and investment. A recent European study also ran Guyana as the only nation worldwide producing all the food its population requires. In other news, a major drug bust at Puruni Landing has landed 2 suspects in custody and taken over 27 pounds of drugs, cash, and gold off the streets. Dale Jarvis has the details.
A major drug bust in Puruni Landing, Region 7, has taken 2 suspects into custody and removed over 27 pounds of cannabis, methamphetamine, cash and gold from circulation. Police have arrested 2 people and seized a large quantity of narcotics, cash and gold, following a targeted operation at Puruni Landing, Region 7 on Wednesday night. Between 8:10 and 8:30, an inspector-led team acted on intelligence and searched the home of 37-year-old Hodley Khan, known as Alan, and his reputed wife, 32-year-old Venezuelan national, Yulimar del Valle Rivas. Khan led ranks to a multicolored bag in his room which contained 23 tape parcels and a transparent plastic bag with leaves, seeds and stems suspected to be cannabis, along with a bag containing a whitish rock-like substance believed to be methamphetamine. At the Bartica police station, the suspected cannabis was weighed at over 12,000 grams and the methamphetamine at over 100 grams. Officers also seized $1.1 million in cash believed to be drug proceeds and 5.9 pennyweights of raw gold. Khan admitted ownership of the narcotics in a recorded interview before later refusing further questioning. Both suspects remain in custody as investigations are ongoing to determine the full extent of the suspects' operations and possible links to wider criminal networks. Reporting for Headline News Update, Dale Jarvis.
Thanks, Dale. The government of Guyana has announced the first oil production from the One Guyana floating production storage and offloading vessel, the country's largest and 4th offshore development in the Starboard Block. The vessel is expected to produce about 250,000 barrels of oil per day, boosting Guyana's total daily output to over 900,000 barrels, up from 677,000 barrels produced by the existing FPSOs Liza Destiny, Liza Unity, and Payar Prosperity. One Guyana will develop the yellowtail and redtail oil fields and is equipped with advanced technology, including infrastructure for 26 production wells and 25 water alternating gas injection wells. Built by SBM Offshore, the FPSO includes strong environmental safeguards, featuring the first installed sparing on all gas processing compressors to ensure continuous gas handling. The Yellowtail Petroleum Production License, approved in 2022, sets new standards for environmental and safety practices in Guyana's oil sector, aligning with the country's climate goals. The Ministry of Natural Resources reaffirmed its commitment to managing the petroleum sector responsibly for sustainable, long-term national benefit. Stick around when we return. Minister Edhill promises smoother traffic as East Bank roadworks near completion, and 24-hour childcare center opens in Anna Katrina.
Miss Shirley, help me out now, please. Why everyone telling me I must exercise my right to vote? Me ain't got time for that. Why must I vote, eh?
Why must you vote? That is your constitutional right and civic duty, my child. Besides, think about this. Government officials make decisions that affect the well-being of you, your family, and community. By voting for a party of your choice, you will be electing the people who will be making these very important decisions. If you don't vote, then you will allow the people who vote to choose government officials without your input. Those others may not share your views about issues that matter to you.
Wait. Is so much voting means to me? And I the playing the fool? I definitely gonna vote on election day.
For more information, contact the GCOM on 225-02779 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
Sneakily with a gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. Common smiles make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services, 316 Mill Street, Georgetown. Telephone 226-1082.
Good girl, forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, lot 238 South Road, Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again. Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Welcome back. 2 of the 6 political parties contesting the 2025 general and regional elections did not attend the Ethnic Relations Commission's Code of Conduct signing ceremony held on Tuesday at the Artisan Conference Center. The People's Progressive Party Civic, Alliance for Change, Assembly for Liberty and Prosperity, and the We Invest in Nationhood were present to formally sign the code, pledging to promote peace, unity, and responsible political engagement. The event also included members of the diplomatic corps, election observers, and media, highlighting broad support for peaceful democratic processes. ERC Chairman Sheikh Muin al-Haq urged all political leaders to reject hostility and divisive rhetoric, describing the code as a promise to the people of Guyana. However, the A Partnership for National Unity and the Forward Guyana movement abstained from signing. APNU criticized ERC for lacking impartiality and called the ceremony a political gimmick, while affirming their commitment to peaceful campaigning. The Forward Guyana movement, led by Ambassador Walton this year, cited concerns over the code's voluntary nature, lack of enforceability, and absence of transparent compliant procedures, stressing the need for structural reforms before lending support. The ERC reaffirmed its mission to promote harmony and inclusivity during the election period and called for continued stakeholder engagement. Despite different views, all parties have committed publicly to peaceful campaigns as Guyana approaches its election. On a different note, motorists along the lower East Bank Demerara corridor can expect smoother traffic flow soon as roadworks near completion, Minister of Public Works Bishop Edgehill announced on August 7th. The 1.6-kilometer Eastern Carriageway paving is expected to be finished by the weekend, allowing 2 lanes of traffic to move freely. Minister Edgehill conducted a site visit to the Diamond to Good Success stretch, where 5 contractors were working on the road upgrades and expansion. Despite delays from inconsistent weather and traffic, the minister assured the public that efforts are ongoing to complete the work promptly and safely. Following a meeting with President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali, commitments were made to fast-track the project. Edgehill also revealed that letters of apology and appreciation were sent to households and businesses affected by the construction, promising swift resolution and better commuting conditions soon. Moving on, parents in Anna Catarina Region 3 now have access to round-the-clock childcare with the opening of a $93.8 million day and night care and early childhood development center, the first of several planned nationwide. Commissioning the facility on Thursday, President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali said the initiative is part of the government's poverty reduction strategy aimed at creating economic opportunities for parents, especially women, who have stayed home to care for their children.
We've all grown up in different homes, but under similar circumstances, where we see mothers struggle to achieve education, if they ever had the opportunity, where we see the dreams and aspirations of mothers being placed off the burner, not even on the back burner, because the system did not support those dreams and aspirations. Today, we have been able to invest in the system, so much so that the majority of opportunities today are taken up by women and mothers, and we should applaud that.
The president added that this initiative creates an opportunity to empower women.
Today's initiative is about empowerment, giving parents who never had the opportunity to explore their professional possibility, adding to the disposable income, to have that empowerment to do that.
President Ali pledged to establish similar centers in every neighborhood democratic council across the country. Minister of Human Services and Social Security Dr. Vinay Prasad said the center will offer flexible, high-quality care that meets the evolving needs of families. The project is part of a $334 million national investment in early childhood education, the largest in Guyana's history. Soon going after the break, Trump doubles reward to $50 million for arrest of Venezuelan president, and China floods. Record-breaking rain causes destruction in Guangdong.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lenders, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again. Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Sneakily with a gift of sight from Modern Optical Services. Let our professional team examine and prescribe what's best for your eyes. Our smalls make fashionable faces. See us for a full line of optical services, including brand name and prescription eyewear. Modern Optical Services, 316 Mill Street, Georgetown. Telephone 226-1082.
Friend, hi, give me a minute now. I want you to clear something up for me.
Okay.
What is it, ma'am? Why you look so confused?
I hear all this talk about elections and voting, but I really don't understand how this could affect me.
All right, it's like this. Once you were registered by GCOM and you were 18 years or older by June 30th, 2025, you are entitled to vote, provided that you are listed in the official list of electors.
Well, I registered and I'm over 18, but how I would know if my name is on the official list of electors?
That's very easy. GCOM is displaying the official list of electors at 2 popular places in the community where you live. Just go there and check the list. Or you can go to GCOM's website and use the search tool.
Oh, well, thanks. I'm going and doing it now. Yeah. My name on the list. I definitely vote in that elections.
Nice.
For more information, contact the GCOM on 225-027729 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world.
Good evening, I am Nikita Ford. Welcome to our regional and international news segment, which keeps you informed and up to date with a trending news story worldwide. The Trump administration has doubled its reward for the arrest of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro to $50 million, accusing him of narco-terrorism and trafficking fentanyl-laced cocaine. Attorney General Pan Bondi declared Maduro would face justice. Venezuela dismissed the move as a propaganda, calling it a pathetic political stunt by U.S. officials. Meanwhile, in Europe, protests are planned in several British towns and cities on Fridays and Saturdays at hotels occupied by asylum seekers. Al Jazeera Melina Venezuelan reports.
It's a quiet afternoon in Waterlooville on the south coast of England. But just days ago, this street was the scene of a protest. People rallied against plans to house 35 asylum seekers in newly built flats in the town centre. Danny, who went to the protest, says there are no resources here for new arrivals.
What people are here up and down the country are worried about is, can you get a dental appointment? Can you see a doctor? And when you can't, we know it personally, where the problems we're having, then obviously this is a situation where that will be brought up. You know, we can't see a doctor, but there's a load of immigrants coming in.
Chelsea thinks the government should help people like her first.
They're being put before my children, and they're being given everything. Literally everything. The money to live off, places to sleep, clothes.
Her perception is echoed across England, with anti-immigration protests happening for weeks now.
You know, I'm very worried about this and it's really dangerous. I put the blame for this in 2 places. Governments that have failed to act and been absolutely uncaring about these communities. And the other one is the British left, who have absolutely ignored and demonised working class people for having concerns about this.
And there are growing fears that the far right is capitalising on this unrest.
For the second summer in a row, hotels like this one in Portsmouth, housing asylum seekers, have become a flashpoint for protests. Now, the government says it is forced to use hotels because the asylum system is under unprecedented strain. And with more than 25,000 people crossing the English Channel so far this year, that strain is unlikely to ease anytime soon.
We approached several people housed in this hotel, but they didn't want to speak. For them, this is a frightening time.
We do not want to have a rerun of half of Britain in flames with people being targeted, and we need to call out people who are actually promoting and validating this kind of behaviour.
But in this coastal city and many others across England, tensions remain, with more protests planned. Milena Veselinovic, Al Jazeera, Portsmouth.
In southern China, rescue crews has been cleaning debris and flooded roads as the country braces for more heavy rain. Al Jazeera, Rob McBride reports.
Parts of China's southern province of Guangdong have experienced the second heaviest August rains in at least 25 years, as the seasonal monsoon has peaked. Exacerbated by climate change, the extreme weather has displaced thousands and threatens to cause billions of dollars in economic losses. While in the financial hub of Hong Kong, the heaviest August rains since 1884 have caused widespread disruption. Throughout southern China, some of the worst destruction has been in rural mountainous areas that have experienced the heaviest cloudbursts.
And the reason why you have landslides and flash floods is because the water comes down so fast that, number one, the river cannot sustain that flow rate, and so therefore there will be flash flooding. And number two, the problem with many of the places is that they have a lot of deforestation.
China has been enduring heavier than usual rains since July. In Beijing's northeastern rural suburb of Miyun, where dozens of people were killed in flash flooding, residents have been continuing the cleanup and salvaging what they can of homes and possessions. It was some of the worst flooding experienced by China's capital in years.
We almost lost our lives. It's been emotionally devastating. I keep thinking about the house and worrying about my wife and the kids.
I've never seen floods like this. Even those in their 80s and 90s have never seen anything like this. Truly, never.
The central government has allocated $139 million for disaster relief in affected areas, with a warning of more rains to come. Rob McBride, Al Jazeera.
A wave of attacks in northern Mozambique has displaced almost 60,000 people in just 2 weeks, according to the United Nations. Al Jazeera Fumida Melo reports.
In a series of attacks in northern Mozambique, fighters with automatic weapons stormed villages. What followed was looting and chaos. They are members of an ISIL-affiliated group called Al-Shabaab, although they have no links to the Somali fighters. The International Organization for Migration says 5 villages were attacked, displacing 60,000 people. Entire families, small children, pregnant women and the elderly fled their homes, taking refuge in makeshift camps.
The attack happened and we had to leave everything behind because of the war. I fled with my mother-in-law and sister-in-law. We're here waiting for help, taking it one day at a time.
We had no choice. Our village was under attack and my family and I had to seek shelter. We ended up here in this resettlement centre. My sisters and uncles are here too. I would like to go back home, but I don't know what condition it's in.
Doctors Without Borders has launched an emergency response in 2 temporary camps, but with inadequate shelter and limited access to clean water, there's concern diseases will spread. The medical charity has been providing assistance in northern Mozambique since 2019 and says healthcare and humanitarian workers have also been attacked.
The biggest challenge is understanding the scale of the needs of the people. These are individuals fleeing conflict, many of them deeply traumatized, and they're afraid to even go out at night. So the challenge is twofold, making sure people can safely access healthcare and also ensuring that our medical teams can safely reach remote communities.
The armed group wants to establish what it says is an Islamic state, but observers say the insurgency is linked to control of offshore gas reserves. The unrest forced energy company Total to suspend its $20 billion operations here 4 years ago. While the government says the army is containing the violence, preventing it from spreading to other areas, the volatilities raise concern about how many more will be forced from their homes. Famida Mala, Al Jazeera.
Thanks, Nikita. This brings us to the end of our regional and global news coverage. Up next is the 3-event forecast. And that's it, TV2 Headline News for this Friday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to follow us on Facebook and YouTube. We will be off for the weekend, but you can tune in on Monday, 7 p.m. for more news. Until then, please take care of yourselves and each other and do have a wonderful weekend.